Hi, and welcome to NEMC Channel 6 Focus Program. I'm Joe Adair. I'll be your host today, and joining me is a man of many hats. He's a farmer, a business owner. He is our state representative, and coincidentally, in relation to our interview for today, he is the Armada Fair Board President. Welcoming Ken Goike.
Thank you so much, Joe. I'm very appreciative to have this opportunity to brag about the 141st Armada Fair. It's a great event, and I'm just elated to be here to get the word out.
141 years, that's a long time running for something to be successful and run that long.
Yes, and I just want to make it clear that I was not here for the very first one.
I wasn't either, but I have been around for a long time, and I've gone to the fairs all of my life as an attendee, but you, on the other hand, have been part of the fair probably your entire life due to the involvement of your parents as being on the board and being part of all of the fair setup and coordination. So
yes,
you've got a deep background.
Yeah, very much so. We've been involved with it for a long time, but that's what it takes for everybody to be involved with the fair, all our volunteers and everything to keep going on. And my family does go back with cousins participating, aunts and uncles, my younger siblings and the whole family coming up through the 4-H. The tractor pull has always been a steady. When we were younger, we had to be there on Sunday afternoon for that. So it does go back deep, and it does for a lot of members of this community, and that's why it means so much.
And it's always been a family thing, something you can do as a family. That's always been the best part of it.
And that's what we, it's an unwritten thing with our mission statement is to make sure it stays a family event. And we try to keep the prices down low enough so we can still give good entertainment and everybody to come and get a good value for their dollar. So that's our focus, is to be doing that, as well as our mission statement is to for the education of the agricultural and mechanical, learning. Mm-hmm. So that's what it is, and that's what we strive to do. And if you look at our program and stuff, that's where all the events, we kind of focus on that. As many other things as that are involved with the fair, is to keep that mission statement in mind of what we can do.
Now, admissions pays for a lot of that, but you do have sponsorships, you do accept donations.
Yes, we do. The admissions is a big price. The refreshment tent also brings in a good fair amount of money. We're always willing to have sponsorships to help. There's a lot of people that buy trophies every year, the banners in the arena event and special events, but even the percentage we get from the carnival, that also adds into it. It costs a lot of money to put the fair on.
A lot of people don't understand that.
And it truly is. We do pay for security. We do pay for everything that goes on, the insurance to run the facilities, and the utilities. It's not our intent to be a burden on the community, but to be a great asset to the community. And therefore, that's why we try to work with as many civic groups as possible, and for all the many things that we try to do.
Well, and the fair is an important part of these civics and local clubs because that's their fundraisers. Absolutely.
Again, I don't want to wear that word out, but for all of the clubs, it's a major source of income, and we want to be a great asset to the community, and I think we are. So when the prices for an adult is $8 to come in, children under 13 years old to 10 years old, it's $2. And if you want to pre-buy them, you can get a discount coming to the fair office ahead of time.
Right.
But one thing that I want to really stress, for people that come to the fair a lot, the last couple of years we've been doing a mega ride. $50 per ticket, and you can't exchange it between family members. That armband has to stay on for the full week, and if you cut it, well, they're not going to honor it. But for $50 you can ride all of the rides Monday through Sunday.
All week.
All week. The other best day would be Thursday. You can ride all day for $20. But for somebody that's coming back and forth a lot, and I really do believe that that's a great value, to come to the fair. So.
Okay. Now, is there a website or something that people can check on that kind of information?
Yes, armadafair.org.
Okay, that's easy enough to remember. Now, Armada Fair. Armada Fair is an agricultural fair. There's a difference between a regular festival or fair and an agricultural fair.
Yes. Our incorporation goes back to the first fair of 1872, and the guidelines were actually drafted by the state legislature in 1842, I believe is the right number on that. And there's 87 fairs in the state. There's actually 83 counties in the state. There's a couple of counties that actually have 2, county fairs per se is what we're kind of classified under. And them are the rules and regs that we go on through the Department of Ag at MSU and the Department of Ag for our rules and regs on the way we want to operate. So we stay in the guidelines. We get the rules and stuff to go by and judging the animals and stuff. And I'm very proud to say that the Armada Fair does not, receive any federal, state, county, or local tax money. It's all operated on the fees that coming in by the gate, through the refreshment tent, the carnival, and generous donors that want to do small sponsorships. I mean, if you're just even giving $10 for a trophy or $20, whatever it is, that's what makes it operate. And through all this operation and a very dedicated fair board, we do give the highest premiums to the people that participate in the stuff throughout the state. So we're very proud of that. And there used to be a subsidy, but that was dropped off a couple years ago, and the state fair stopped getting its subsidy. So the legislation took that away. So
now, a regular fair doesn't have livestock, does it?
No, that's mostly the technicality is the festivals. Like right next door we have the Richmond Good Old Days, and the other side of us we have the Romeo Peach Festival. And then we can go all the way down to, Fish Fly Festival or Bayarama, whatever you want to call it, even in Memphis we have some stuff going on.
Duck Days.
Yeah, but in the past, we belong to MAFE, which is Michigan Association of Fairs and Exhibitions. MAFE and the festivals used to be as one unit, but Pure Michigan has so many festivals now. We had to break off because during the convention that we go to every year for education purposes and learning what we're doing, there was just too many people and got too much.
Couldn't house it all.
Yeah, and it's a great thing I'll get the plug in for Pure Michigan.
There you go. The fair is, people think of the fair as one week, but it's not. It takes all year round to maintain the grounds and get things prepared from one year to the next year. And I live right next to the fairgrounds, so I know you maintain the fairgrounds very well. The grass is always mowed, the buildings are always in good condition. How many volunteers or employees does it take to just keep that fairgrounds and the fair going?
Well, right off the bat, there's 21 board members, and every 3 years you're up for election, so there's 7 up each time, and then we adjust it for the president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary. None of them are on the payroll. I get $35 a year for that, plus we get to go to the convention that the fair picks up for that, basically as a stipend for the gratitude. We have 1 full-time employee in the office, and then 1 part-time that comes in seasonal, and then usually we have 3 to 4 people part-time working on doing the grounds work. But it's through the dedication and the hundreds of volunteers that are through all the civic organizations that make the fair. Without their time and dedication, it's what helps keeping the door, the gates open, keeping us in the black, and making it a great, event for the community.
Absolutely.
So without the volunteers, it wouldn't exist.
Well, it's just too big of an operation.
Yes, and then, a lot of people will, especially when money is tight, they'll say, well, we should all be able to get in for free. Well, we can show you a history of Eastern Michigan Fair up in Emily City. They were doing that, and they were basically bankrupt. And that used to be a showcase fair in our area here, and they had to eliminate doing that. And so it's through the dedication of all the volunteers, knowing that we do not take any money for our own selves, and we keep it being efficient and try to run a very tight ship and being as tight with the belt as we can, that we can keep this wonderful
event. It's all
event.
operational generated funds.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, let's take a little break right now, and when we come back, we'll talk about this year's fair.
Okay.
And some of the events that's coming up.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until the
No secret that laughter makes you smile.
reliable sources say that chicken soup has found their way out of this year's dangerous, but they are returned.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Hi, welcome back to NEMC Channel 6 Focus Program. Again, I'm Joe Adair, and joining me today is Ken Goike from the Armada Agricultural Fair Board, as well as many other places. And we are talking today about the 141st Annual Armada Agricultural Fair. In our earlier segment, we kind of talked about some background of the fair. Now we're going to talk about this year's fair. So this year's fair, we are from Monday, 8/12 through Sunday, 8/18.
Correct.
Long week this time.
Yes, and when you're there for usually over 100 hours for that week, it does get to be a little
Real
bit
long.
tiring. It's a little long, but a lot of preparation, and we're really excited to working on that. I would just like to make a note that we take a lot of strides working with our local police department and our local fire department on situations. We practice this stuff ahead of time, and we try to make worst case scenarios and pray that it never happens. But just to make people feel secure on that, and if there's a lost child, which happens frequently, we have a policy of locking the whole facility down, nobody in, nobody out.
Yep, I've been on the fairgrounds when that's happened.
Some people are a little bit agitated by it, but we usually try to explain. If it's one of your loved ones that's lost, you would appreciate it. So
Yep.
I just want to get this out on this segment so that everybody has knowledge of what actually is going on.
And it's usually something that's quick that you take care of it and remedy. You know, you've got a lot of security people that are out there, they're looking, they've got, a description of the child, and they're usually found and reunited with parents within just a few minutes. So it's not that big of an aggravation.
Yes, and that's why we
But a
have
safety precaution.
That's true, and that's why we take a lot of pride in doing that. There's other fairs actually looking at us, to see how we handle this stuff, because we have people identified with wearing fair shirts so that people can go to them if that happens. We have our information booth, plus we have our brochures of all the events that are going on. So. There's a lot that goes into it that we want to make people aware of, so that, and we're always open to new ideas. Don't be afraid to tell us.
Oh, that's good information. You've got so much going on this year. I can see why it's going to take the extra time. Give us a little breakdown on some of the schedules. Monday we have opening ceremonies. Fair opens at what time?
Well, you can, at noon, basically. So,
Okay.
but, 6 o'clock at night will be our annual fair opening ceremonies. We give the awards out to like the 4-H people and Homemaker of the Year.
Right.
Of
Senior Citizen of the Year.
Yes, we do have the Senior Citizen
Yep.
of the Year. That's to be announced at that day too. And just some accolades on everything that's going on. And then Monday will be the monster trucks this year.
A big draw.
That's a big draw, and we're very excited about that. Plus the stuff that goes on in the Grove all the time. And we cannot forget all of the youth showing their animals, all of the, throughout the week. We have horses moving in and out. There's so many different horses and horse classes that they come in for a few days, and then another class will come in. So we actually have to move people in and out during this time, frame with them animals. But the 4-H animals are they usually stay for the week. And we do have a lot of youth involved with that, and we really take pride in that situation of what's going on there. Tuesday is Veterans Day, and it's also Military Day. So if you have military idea, you get free admission to the fair on Tuesday.
Oh, that's very nice. I like that.
And our main entertainment on Tuesday will be the bump and run, autocross, whatever you want to call it, out there. And we also have dance troops and things going on, in the Grove area, plus the animals. The animal judging is going on all the time. And then I really like to have people walk through barns 1 and 2 with all of our exhibits in there for all the people that spend the time on doing their crafts, the sewing and the cooking, the baking.
That's always been one of my favorite parts of the fair, is the exhibits, and there's just thousands of them in there.
That's why
it's just so unique and so nice to see the things that someone else had the vision to make or create or grow. I mean, some of the produce that's in there with these monster pumpkins and things that are huge. So that's something I would recommend everybody
That's
visit.
why your house is so close to the
Yeah.
barns too, right?
I can just come around the corner and see the
I mean,
exhibit.
last night I was at the Burville Lions meeting, and a couple guys come up to me and telling me how they were bragging on how tall their corn is to
Yeah.
enter it this year. So that stuff is very, very important, you know, and that's, to be honest with you, I get around to quite a few of the different other fairs going on, and our exhibits are by far the largest of any other fair that I've gone to in the state. So it's pretty exciting when you come back home and you see how many people are entered in that, because there's a group of us at the fair that we go volunteer our time to put motorized events on to the other fairs and festivals, so we get out to see quite a few of them. So that's a very advantageous
Yeah, and
to
the
see
barns
that.
aren't only just crafts and arts and produce. There's a commercial exhibit.
Yes.
So you can see new products and things that may be of benefit to you in your home and your household that you didn't know existed even.
Yes, and I'm happy to say, even in barn number 3, which is our exhibitor's barn, so, you know, people with wells and stuff like that, you'll have vendors and the, you know, home beauty products and
Right.
stuff, a lot of different things, and home improvement stuff. But we've also teamed up with our local health department for public information. We've also teamed up with here in Clinton Metro Parks. You know, they're a great asset. They have programs going on, and then it coincides with the Wolcott Farm, you know, so that we're excited that we can draw them into, you know, to being in part of it. So that's very, very important stuff. And then, so we covered Tuesday. Wednesday is our famous Demolition Derby, one of the best in the state.
One of the loudest in the state.
Well, 1 week out of the year. And it was
1 week,
before you and I
yep,
were here.
yep.
So,
1 week.
and we do thank all the people in the village for their patience and stuff. Just hopefully most of the people are at the fair and enjoying it. So we try to be accommodating as much as possible, but it is a great draw for the whole village.
And it's always been the biggest event, I think, that probably the young people.
Yes. It's usually the small children be able to twist grandma and grandpa, mom and dad to get them to come out for the Demolition Derby. Thursday will be in the main grandstands is the figure 8, so that's normally a pretty good draw. And then Friday of this year, our entertainment is, hold on to your hats,
Yeah, she's a big ticket item.
Kelly Pickler.
Yep.
So, and Joe was just talking to me about what
Yep,
what
she
events did she win?
She has been on Dancing with the Stars. She actually won that event, and she originated from America's Got Talent. So now Armada has that talent. So we hope you come out to see her, because she should be a great show.
We're really excited about that. But we don't want to forget our history too. Earlier in the day, we'll be having our annual draft horse pull, you know, with the lightweights and heavyweights. So that still draws a pretty good crowd. And another avenue that we pay the highest premiums in the state. So that's why we get horses from all over to come to it.
And also along the historical lines is you have the exhibits from the antique tractors and the thrashing machines. So it's nice to be able to come there and see that part of history that's still being displayed. And into the Grange Hall. That displays a lot of the fair's involvement in history.
Yes, and we're really excited. We took that task on almost 20 years ago now of moving the Grange. It was the Armada Bruce Grange. Just a little history on that. The Grange, that's almost like it was a farmers organization where they would come and they would talk and work out, see if they could get better prices for their stuff. So we've brought that in, and we're really excited to keep that thrashing so everybody can see where we were, where we are.
And
maybe,
if it hadn't been moved, it was scheduled for demolition.
yes, it was.
So
we worked with the Historical Society to get that going. And Saturday and Sunday is our annual pickup and truck pulls. We mix the classes up for those 2 days, and we're the oldest continuous tractor pull on this side of the Mississippi.
cool.
We celebrated our 50th anniversary a few years back on that, so we take a lot of pride in having a really good show on that too. So there's a lot of standby people that come for that every year.
Oh, there's just so many exciting events. We're going to take another little break, and we'll come back and kind of close up with some of the things that we haven't touched on, but information that we're sure you'll want to know. So be sure and come back.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Hi, and welcome back to NEMC Channel 6 Focus Program. We are into our closing segment at this point. And before we get started, I need to make a correction. Kelly Pickler. I said earlier that she was on the
America's Got
Talent, and I stand corrected. She was on the 5th season of American Idol when she was 19 years old.
Yes.
So just still, it's a lot of accomplishments for a young woman. So I'm looking forward to seeing her at the fair. Again, joining me is Ken Goike, and I would like to hand it over to him now and let him go on to a few more things that's going to be some great events at the fair.
Well, first and foremost, what I do not want to forget, one of the staples, I think it started in about 1968, was the youth livestock sale. This is what a project that all the youth work for, raising their animals, so that they can work on their projects and get to sell them. It starts from the ground up. They pick out the young animal. They learn how to raise them, how to groom them, how to fit them, to get the right exercise, and then how to market them as well. So it's a great project. We have in the afternoon on Friday, it starts with the poultry and rabbits, and then a little later on in barn 15, which is the biggest barn at the northeast corner of the fairgrounds at 4 o'clock for the large animal sale. And we got to get a good plug in for that. People do drive from a long ways away.
Yes, they do.
And we also get some support by some of the meat packers and stuff. Little known fact, I guess I'll put a horn on for the rest of the fair board. We actually buy an animal and donate it, to some worthy causes for, battered women and stuff like that. And the meat packer actually donates the cutting and wrapping of the meat for that same event. So, so we do stuff like that throughout the year. We do promote and help a lot of different community events. But getting back to the fair.
Midway.
The Midway. I knew you wanted to hear about that. Yep. We're happy to say that we switched over to Big Rock Entertainment last year, and we're really excited. They've got some new rides. We got a chance to run down to the Fraser Homecoming Festival to see what they had. Mm-hmm. If you like looking at rides, they've spent a lot of money on the LED lights, and we've got a new, bigger, amusement ride. And with the price that I mentioned earlier about that $50 mega pass to all week, I still think that's the best deal going. And then you can buy the armbands on Thursday and Friday, for $20 a piece. And it's a good value for it. But there's another subject, other than doing the rides, which are state inspected every year. The state inspector does come out and look at them, just so that you have that little bit of security. Because I meet with them, and they come up to see me now because of the other hat I wear.
Mm-hmm. But, one of those many hats.
What was your favorite thing in the Midway area?
Elephant ears.
You and I share that.
Yep.
It's once a year because it's not too healthy for us.
Right.
But many,
the variety of food.
Oh, it's just astounding. If you want
hot dogs, sausages, elephant ears, cotton candy, popcorns, you name it. It's there, and you can smell them all.
And we do not want to discount our local vendors as our civic organizations.
Right.
I don't want to single out anyone, but St. Mary's Mystical Rose has been there for a long time. And then the AMVETS, and then the Lions Club, and then the Rotary, and and we even have the Masons, and it's just it's a good
there's ethnic
fundraiser.
Food. There's just all kinds. So that's always been a nice And last year, I have to say, I think the food booths, vendor booths, were the cleanest, neatest that I've ever seen
Well,
anywhere.
thank you. The health department doesn't come and inspect them things as well, just to give a heads up. And with some dire straits, I don't know if people noticed, but Vince's Sausage was a staple since I think 1982. And with the passing of Vince, that the family is no longer doing that. So
Right.
the wonderful Italian sausages are
That
no
was
longer
disappointing.
available.
Yeah. What else do we need to bring in?
Well, I would like to also say that our refreshment tent.
Yes.
You know, it's set up for adults, and youngsters can go in there during the day, but it's a mainstay for the community. We do pay for good security for that facility, and we do offer rides home to try and maintain that.
And you just mentioned earlier there's entertainment in there.
See, that tells you
I
how much
didn't
you've
know.
ever gone to
I
it.
don't go in
yes,
there.
we do have entertainment in there all week, and we also have ladies' night, and it's just, we try to keep, keep it going and to be responsible, because it's also been one of our forms of income that's really helped, to keep the facilities up. With not getting any money from outside sources, it takes a lot of money to maintain those buildings. Just this year, we're sandblasting and painting the grandstands, the covered ones. So it's a lot of money, and that's and we do not ask for it from the outside. So that's what it takes to
Well,
help
the grounds
support
and
us.
the buildings are always maintained well, so it's not like you're going someplace that, boy, you can't wait to get out of there. You want to come back again because it is well maintained. It is something that you don't mind bringing your family to. And speaking of facilities, you have bathrooms that are
Yes.
cleaned every day.
Yes.
There's ample parking.
Let me go on the bathrooms just for, we take the pride in making sure that there's full-time people to work on cleaning the bathrooms, as well as the porta-johns that are all set out in the place. We also take pride in how much that we're involved with the community for the equestrian program, even, for the high schools to run into, and all the shows and stuff. Even the school, is available to use the facilities. Some of the events, we do charge a small fee, for the garbage pickup and if they're using the utilities, because it's by the goodness gracious of everybody, And one other plug is we do have winter storage, inside storage, and that's also a good source of income for us. So we try to utilize it. Technically the fair belongs to the Agricultural Society, but it only costs $10 to join the Agricultural Society. So you in the community, if you want to belong, you can belong.
And the storage is all indoors,
Yes, it is.
so it's all secure. So that's good to know. And throughout the year, the grounds can be rented for different events, family reunions.
Yes, graduation parties.
Graduation parties.
We've done some dog shows, and when there's events come up, like doing some, cancer runs or something, you have to come to the board and ask, and we'll see what see what it's for, and we'll try to support it. That's one of the things. We also have a scholarship program right now that we give away as well. So the fair is for the community, for everybody, to come and enjoy. And I just wanted to tell everybody on how many things that we are involved with in it. And that's our purpose and our stated goals is for those things. But it's not on the taxpayer's dole, and that's what's important.
Exactly. And it's such a well-rounded part of the community, so it's nice that it's here. I'm glad. I'm sure there's something we've forgotten, but there's so many things that we just can't touch on them all today.
Well, I'll just hit on the main points again. Monday, the monster trucks.
Right.
Tuesday, the bump and run autocross. Wednesday, the demolition derby. Thursday, figure eights. Friday, the horse pull and Miss Kelly Pickler. Saturday and Sunday will be tractor and truck pulling as normal. So I want to make sure we get them main plugs in. Don't forget the stuff going on in the Grove. Don't forget to check out the animals. The great Midway from Big Rock Entertainment, and it's welcome one, welcome all. And if you have any problems, make sure you can tell one of us Fair Board members that, and we'll try to address it, and we'll take all comments, pro and con.
That's great. So there you have it. Something for everybody. Be sure to come out, have a good time, plan on spending the day. It's a lot of things to take in one day. So again, if they have any questions, they can go on to
ArmadaFair.org.
Okay. Channel 6 will be there throughout the week, filming the activities and events of the fair, so you can always catch us on YouTube. So for this segment of Channel 6's Focus program, I'm Joe Adair. Thanks for joining me, Ken Goike. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Joe.